What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Coach and Company podcast. We do this show every single weekday to support the morning show. If you miss any of the show today on Stadium, Bally Sports Live, or YouTube, or any of that, you can also always go back and watch it on demand. A ton of best bets today in college football, 3 games tonight, on the ice tonight as well, and Major League Baseball as well. No premium pop-up tonight. We will have a premium pop-up on Wednesday, and we are securing Thursday. The easiest thing to do is follow, subscribe to our YouTube channels, hit the notification button, and every time we start a show, and if you want to become a premium member and be a part of the nighttime shows, we encourage you to do so. We do a lot of live betting. It'll pay for itself in one show, in all likelihood. All right, my man Mikey P is joining me here today because last night, one of your players made history as you guys a walk-off field goal. The Commanders gave your Bears every chance they possibly could, but Jake Moody, your kicker, who got elevated from the practice squad, the first Bears ever in their debut to have a walk-off field goal, it had to make him feel great. It had to make you feel great, and now you're a team that's above 500, and maybe, Mikey, just maybe, you guys could be a playoff team this year. Who knows? Who knows? Your thoughts?
I would love that, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Good for Jake Moody, and it's not even about the team. Because, Coach, let me just real quick tell you some more history. Caleb Williams, first Bears quarterback to throw for 200 yards and a passing touchdown in each of the team's first 5 games. That's not saying a lot. So Jake Moody, he makes Bears history, and Caleb Williams makes Bears history, but I'm not proud of that history. So I'm just happy for Jake Moody, a guy who was kind of written off after being released by the 49ers, and you get thrown into a pressure situation. Caleb Williams even said it. He goes, I didn't even know who he was when he first got here. So, good on Jake Moody. He delivered. I would be lying if I told you I wasn't sweating at the end of that game because I knew Moody's recent track record and I wasn't feeling good about it.
Well, you guys kept getting the ball in the fourth quarter. It was like punt. I said all they need is just one drive, and he finally got it in the last minute. So that's the good news. The bad news is you're in a division where all 4 teams are above 500. So technically, you're still tied for last, even though you're 3-2. So there's a little bittersweetness to it.
I have a bone to pick with somebody real quick, Coach, and that is Troy Aikman. I understand you might be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You may be, in my opinion, until last night, one of the better broadcasters when it comes to calling football.
What'd he do?
Just every single play was from Caleb Williams' standpoint was I gotta tell you, Joe, it didn't, that doesn't look great. And it's like on the 55-yard touchdown pass, he's like, the Bears were lucky to get that one. It was like, hey, Troy, what happened to not being biased on one side or the other? If you don't like Caleb Williams, you can be critical without burying the guy, even on his best plays. Troy Aikman, don't make it so obvious if you're against the quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. I mean, I watched the same game. I never thought like that. I didn't think like that. So maybe you think it's your fandom creeping him a little bit? Maybe a little bit?
If I was going to blame the refs, then that would be my fandom because I thought there was a lot of questionable calls. It was clear as day. And listen, Coach, I'm tough as nails, right? So I could take some criticism. I can take Troy Aikman criticism, but I'm going to defend my guy, Caleb. He's not the worst quarterback in the league.
He did throw some bad ones last night. I'll say that. But in the NFL, it's all about winning. And that's something the Commanders did not do. And Jaden Daniels, he threw some beautiful passes last night. And then he made some mistakes. And when you have a second-year quarterback, that's going to happen. But now Washington, a playoff team a year ago, they're now 3-3. They're a game back of Philadelphia. The Eagles have not looked good either, getting blown out by the Giants. This NFC East is an absolute mess. You throw in Dallas losing to the Panthers. Hell, the Giants might be the best team at 2-4 playing right now. Is that a crazy statement?
It's not, but this is the NFL I love. I don't know about you, Coach. I don't know about a lot of football fans. I know sometimes we get enamored with watching one team dominate all season, and are the 72 Dolphins going to pop the champagne once again? No, for me, give me a 10-7 team making it to the playoffs and going on a deep run. I love when there's so much parity, and when we're going past week 6 into week 7 going, who's the best team in any division or any conference? That's what makes football entertaining every single Sunday.
I agree. So you got the NFC East like that. In the NFC North, all 4 teams have at least 3 wins, and because of the tie, Green Bay's actually in first place, even though Detroit has 4 wins. It's a little confusing, but that's the way it is right now because of the numbers. And then the NFC South, Tampa Bay's got a basically a 2.5 game lead because other teams have had their bye weeks. It always gets a little confusing from week 5 to week 15 because all these bye weeks fall at different times. But the point is well taken. And then you have the NFC West, Mikey, and you got 3 teams at 4-2. So this is all about schedules. It's all about who they play, on how these things fall. But you might see a decent team get blocked out simply because of the division that they play in.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna keep saying it. This is what I love about football because if you think like you're the Arizona Cardinals, you blow a game to the Tennessee Titans. It's early in the season. We're still figuring out some kinks. We got to figure out where we're going wrong. No, that game could come back and bite you come week 17. So this is also a message to the NFL head coaches: have your teams prepared to play, no matter who the opponent is, because it could cost you in the long run.
And it did last night if you're the Buffalo Bills. It's amazing how 8 days ago, now 9 days ago, you have the last Sunday night game in that stadium. You have NBC in the house. You have an incredible atmosphere. It's going to be a victory lap for the city of Buffalo. And then New England said, wait a second, hold my beer. And they said Drake May right now is a better quarterback than Josh Allen is playing on the field. And that has proven out for another week. New England beats the Saints. Josh Allen played bad last night. The offense played bad last night. So now they go from undefeated Super Bowl favorites to all of a sudden tied, and the tiebreaker goes to the Patriots. That's where they are right now. That's crazy.
It is crazy. And I may or may not know a very intelligent, well acknowledged man named the coach who's a Chiefs fan. You got to be living in glory right now because Buffalo dropping 2 really senseless games to teams they should have beat. By the way, give James Cook the ball. I'm not going to keep saying it week in and week out if you're Buffalo. But when you lose these games, you're just opening the door for Kansas City, who's getting healthier because, again, they don't care about their regular season record. They just need to get there. So, listen. Drake May's been playing amazing. And coach, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we may be looking at 5 years from now, really looking back at this 2024 draft class with Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and going, oh, this class was a lot better than we thought.
No, I have no doubt about that. I think you're spot on. The one thing I'm not scared of when you're talking about the Chiefs, if we can't get to that number 1 seed, I just don't want Buffalo to have it. I don't want to. That's the one place that I don't want to go. It's the one place that, as a Chiefs fan, I don't feel comfortable going in there for the AFC Championship game and coming out with a victory. The only other place was Baltimore. And the Ravens, they're completely out of it already at 1-5. If Pittsburgh somehow gets the number 1 seed, I'm not scared to go to Pittsburgh and face Aaron Rodgers in January when he has to get stretched out in those old ligaments in that 30-degree weather. Not worried about it. I'm not worried about going to SoFi, where we would have more fans there than the Chargers would have. I'm not scared of going to Indianapolis to face the Fighting Danny Dimes in the playoffs. None of those places scare me, Mikey. Should they?
No. And honestly, if you are a Chiefs fan or a fan of any team not named the Buffalo Bills, a team you mentioned, Coach, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they have to play Buffalo before the AFC Championship game, if however that plays out, I would be all in on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers because I think the Steelers are a team you don't want to play early in the playoffs, but you're licking your chops if you get to play them in the AFC Championship game. So, Aaron Rodgers, I hate to root for you, but if I'm a AFC fan, I want Aaron Rodgers to do what he does until he has to go up against my team, because then I think the Chiefs would easily handle them.
A quick look at the Bills' schedule moving forward. Just kind of play, prognosticator, if that's the word. Soupy, if you're watching, don't try it. So they have a bye week. So they can go home, lick their wounds, and then come out in 2 weeks and be ready to go. And when you look at the schedule at Carolina, everybody's laughing. Oh, that's a bye. Not anymore. Not anymore. They have played pretty well the last couple of weeks. They're now 3-3. This is not a pushover. Saw what happened when they looked ahead of Atlanta. Then they have Kansas City at home right after Carolina, and that's going to be a late 4:25 game November 2nd. Then they go to Miami, who is an absolute mess. Then home to Tampa. So they have two of their toughest games in their house. Then go to Houston, to Pittsburgh. So they play the Steelers, and then home to Cincinnati, to New England, tough, at Cleveland, and then home to Philadelphia. So they have Philadelphia, Tampa, and Kansas City. And somehow the schedule makers, Mikey, gave them all of those games in Buffalo. So the Bills can't blame anybody but themselves if they don't end up getting that number 1 seed, can they?
No, they cannot. And why did Josh Allen win the MVP last year? You know, it's not just about winning the award for that season. You have to carry that momentum. You have to prove yourself worthy of said award. I don't want to hear about injuries because Baker Mayfield's throwing to Walmart greeters right now on the field because every single wide receiver is hurt for him. There's no excuse when you're winning the MVP trophy, when you are a top continuous threat in your conference, that you lose these games to the Patriots, to the Falcons. Coach, I'm not even overlooking the Panthers anymore because I don't know if the Bills believe in themselves right now. And if they lose 3 straight and Carolina gets the upset, well, then Kansas City should be licking their chops because they should be heavy favorites in that matchup. This is one of those times where you look at Sean McDermott and go, he might be a good regular season coach. I don't know if he's cut out to really get them over the hump.
That's the way I feel when I watch him, especially he puts the glasses on, for the primetime games. And I'm like, man, this dude is so well respected, but yet in the really big games, I feel like he gets out-coached all the time. I just pulled up the New England schedule, and there are benefits to not being good the previous year. If I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm scared I may not even win my division. Here is what the Patriots have on their schedule the rest of the year. Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta. I'm not even going to do the home game. Tampa, Jets, Cincinnati, Giants, bye, Buffalo, Baltimore, Jets, Miami. Not exactly a murderer's row of games that are coming up on their schedule. And they're playing better and better and better and better. Should the Patriots be considered the favorite in their division, Mikey?
Well, Coach, real quick, can you confirm that game against Tennessee? That's in Tennessee, right?
At Tennessee, yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about that real quick. Because if you want to know just how serious the Patriots are, and I know this is like low-hanging fruit to say they're going to beat the Titans, but what is this all about? This is, to me, the thing I've been hammering all NFL season. Head coaches matter. Gerard Mayo out. Mike Vrabel in. Drake May looks the part. Same is happening in Chicago with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. We saw it with Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. Now you have Mike Vrabel on his revenge game against his former team who just, wait for it, fired their head coach. I bet you they're regretting that decision. Not only do I think the Patriots will manhandle the Titans, I think Mike Vrabel will show there's back to being a Patriot way. And I think the Patriots will be taken seriously moving forward, not because they beat the Titans, but probably because how they beat the Titans. I think Mike Vrabel's going to put his foot on the necks of the Titans.
Do you think he will score as many as he possibly can?
Why wouldn't you? Not only are you going up against your former team, you're taking on an interim coach.
I mean, he's not scared of that post-game handshake at all, even if it was still Callahan. Oh my gosh, this one could get ugly early and often. Wow. Sometimes you look at it and go, how could the football gods make this up? They couldn't make this up if they had Tennessee on their schedule this week. You can't make this up. You really, really can't. All right, quickly before we get the hell out of here, we never go longer than 20 or 30 minutes because we understand that you have a life. There's only one Major League game today. And Mikey, with Seattle up 2-0, there are a lot of execs, I'm assuming it's at Fox, that are begging the Dodgers to get this done. And then how do you sell it? Well, it's an all West Coast World Series marketing plan. That's what we're doing. I mean, this is, no matter how you spin it, if the Dodgers don't make it to the World Series, it's a marketing, advertising, ratings disaster.
I think right now it's a full disaster. Even just looking at the AL and NLCS, you look at the two of the biggest fan bases are the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox. So you've got all those baseball fans not watching because the Toronto Blue Jays are in it. Nobody on that side wants to root for Toronto, and nobody knows about the Seattle Mariners. The only team left, like you said, Coach, is the Los Angeles Dodgers, but I don't even think they can carry the momentum because what are we currently in? The heart of football season. We're in a stretch of 49 straight days of football between college and the NFL. Yeah, I am choosing Tuesday night CUSA, Conference USA football games against the NLCS tonight. I don't care about the Dodgers and Brewers, and I'm definitely not going to care about the World Series, even if the Dodgers make it.
I'm looking. You just made me do something. Where is? Oh, there we go. So 2 tonight, 2 on Wednesday. I love the fact that some of these other conferences outside of the MAC have decided to do these deals because it's basically October is these conferences, and then MAC starts in the next couple of weeks, and they have Tuesday and Wednesday every single week. Wouldn't it be sad if, and sometimes the numbers don't come in because of streaming and all these different things, if this college football on Tuesday and Wednesday beat the baseball games?
I wouldn't be shocked. It would definitely be sad. I think it tells kind of the tale we've been seeing with baseball for so long. I mean, we can go back and back. Dodgers, Yankees. Oh, that's the World Series everybody wanted. And the Dodgers just manhandled the Yankees. So there was really no interest after one or two games. The only narrative we have was Aaron Judge can't deliver in the postseason. That was it. Next. So no, I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I love Maction, but I'm going to try to trademark, CUSA, because Maction's great. But if I can get a little CUSA on Tuesday nights, I'm all for Conference USA during the middle of the week.
I know. I just don't know that. I don't know these teams as well as I know Miami of Ohio because we've been doing it for so many years, or
But that's
Ball
the
State
beauty
or
of it.
Toledo. I don't know Western Kentucky like that, but I can learn to know them. All right, no premium pop up tonight, Wednesday, and then we're planning on a Thursday because I kind of want to do Thursday because I like that matchup. I like the Steelers and the Bengals.
I
So we'll
think I
talk
know what
about
you
it.
like the most.
What's that?
I think I know what you like the most about that matchup.
What's that?
What Jamar Chase is expecting. He's expecting the Steelers to come in and raw dog him, and they're up for the challenge. So
Do you think some of these players know what they're saying in these interviews? Do you think they know? And if they do you think their PR person is walking up to them afterwards going, "Hey, Jamar, maybe not say that in an interview. Perhaps you're not cursing, you're not doing anything wrong, but here's what that means." Do you think maybe that happens?
I honestly think in every other sport besides the NFL, because we get so much attention from these locker room quotes. I mean, you have Jamar Chase talking about the Steelers trying to raw dog him. And on the other side, you have the Steelers and Jalen Ramsey going, I'm going to be able to tell my kids that I played in a game with Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, and I had 2 sacks. I can't wait to tell my son that. Like, these are some of the best moments and clips we get, not even from the game. So I think sometimes there's team PRs going, you know what? That is just insert player being said player.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, it has us talking about it. So I guess at the end of the day, that's what they want. All right, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe if you haven't to both of our YouTube channels at Behind the Turnbuckle and also Coach and Company, as we have content constantly coming out of our studios. And that's the easiest way to keep track of it. Turn on your notifications, and every single time something starts, boom, your phone will ding. All right. I got to go get ready for SiriusXM channel 156, 2 to 4 Eastern time. If you feel so inclined, tune in. Hang out with us. I was really, really appreciate it. For Mikey P, producer man, I am the coach. This has been the Coach and Company podcast, and we will see you tomorrow.